come to order. Today's Pledge of Allegiance is by Abraham Tess O'Rare. And we do have the color guard this morning. And we'll now hear the Pledge of Allegiance from Abraham Tess O'Rare from Kinder Care Preschool in Westminster, Colorado.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, the people, liberty,
justice for all.
I also want to thank North High School, ROTC, who presented colors this morning, and they are guests of Representative Rosenthal, Allison Jones, Dylan Swanton, Katrina Soletto, and Jaden Engelbretson.
Representatives Arndt, Baker J, Baker K, Beckman, Benavides, Bridges, Buck, Buckner, Carver, Catlin, Coleman, Covarrubias, Danielson, Escar, Everett,
Excused.
Exum, Foot, Foot, Garnett, Janal, Gray, Hamner, Hanson, Herod, Hooten, Hooten,
Excused.
Humphrey, Representative Hooten is present. Humphrey, Jackson, excused. Kennedy, Kraft Tharp, Landgraf, Landgraf,
Excused.
Lawrence, Lee, Representative Landgraf is present. Leonard, Lewis. Liston. Lontine. Lundeen. McKean. McLaughlin. Melton. Michelson Janae. Neville. Pabone. Pedersen. Rankin. Ransom. Ryer. Roberts. Roberts.
Excuse.
Rosenthal. Sane.
Excuse.
Salazar. Sandridge. Sias. Singer. Thurlow. Valdez.
Good morning, Colorado.
Dan Winkle. Weissman. Willett. Williams.
Wilson?
Williams.
Oh, he's not making it today. He's sick.
Excuse.
Slow on the golf draw.
Wilson.
Wilson's here.
Winkler. Winter. Wist. Young. Madam Speaker.
Here.
So I have Everett, Jackson, Roberts, Sane.
I gotta quit doing that to you. Sorry about that.
Good morning. Thank you.
Morning.
Jim?
How are you?
Oh, okay. Every day's a new day.
Have you gotten any more flack from Jason? I had quite a conversation with him yesterday. I finally said, so if you're doing all this stuff, you go and step aside. I said, what am I doing here? Just let me know how I need, just let me know how to push the button.
Exactly the point.
Representative Roberts is present.
And I don't know if it's worth the fight. So one thing we did talk about yesterday is go ahead with the allocation, but put some parameters on it that it's for royalties. You know, so we can at least get our little,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I got fed up with that.
Representative Everett is present.
Well, that's how we're all feeling. It's like, who's in charge here? Apparently not us. Anyway, thank you. That makes me feel better. Hi, Tony.
Yeah. You got it? I tried a couple of times, but I just I forget to speak.
Today we created, last night, Katrina sent me a list that made it was taking some conversation. She sent me this consensus list of what I can and can't eat. The first time.
Cool. Thank you.
With 62 present and 3 excused, we do have a quorum. To Representative Exum, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you too.
I move that the reading of the Journal of Wednesday, April 4th, 2018 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
All right, members, you have heard the motion. All of those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying no. All right. That motion passes. Announcements and introductions. I do have an announcement and introduction. Actually, just an announcement. Representative Willett will replace Representative Becker on the Transportation Committee only today. Representative Winkler will replace Representative Williams on the State Affairs Committee today. Representative Singer will replace Representative Jackson for today only on Health Insurance and Environment. And Representative Kennedy will replace Representative Jackson for today only on Transportation. Lots of changes today. Any further announcements or introductions? Representative Janal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Health Insurance and Environment will meet today at 1:30, but we are not in room 107. We are in room 271, the big room. And we're going to be hearing House Bill 1307, 1286, and 1263. So see you this afternoon in room 271.
Further announcements or introductions? Further announcements or introductions? Going once. I'm sorry? I don't know. Further announcements or introductions? If not, we're going to go to third reading. Representative Rosenthal.
Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry for the delay. Members, just a reminder, tomorrow morning from about 8 till whenever we come to the floor is the annual Nowruz Persian breakfast and tea, and it's going to be a nice social, and they're going to have music and Persian food. It's going to be on the first floor, West Foyer. All of you are welcome, your staffs, your aides, your interns. It's really wonderful. Again, we do this annually tomorrow morning from 8 till whenever. Hopefully you can make it. First floor, West Foyer. Thank you.
Further announcements and introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to say, outside is the pollinators, pollinators that pollinate all our food in the world, and I just want a big shout out to the pollinators. If you haven't seen them, there's butterflies, bees outside. Go visit with them, talk to them about how we can continue to increase pollinators throughout our communities. Thank you.
Representative McCain.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have asked for and received permission to be off tomorrow, Friday, to go do a little bit of work for the snowfalls. Thank you very much.
All right, that is just fine. Further announcements or introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? Seeing none. Members, we are going to go to third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1245.
House Bill 1245, Representatives Rosenthal, Michelson, Janelle, Senator Framberg, Guzman, concerning a prohibition against a health care provider engaging in conversion therapy with a patient under 18 years of age.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1245 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is passage of House Bill 1245 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote.
Members, we're voting. Please take your seats.
Representative Humphrey. Please close the machine. With 36 yes votes, 26 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1245 is passed. Co-sponsors. 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 Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1270.
House Bill 1270, Representatives Hanson, Becker, J. Austin, undertake concerning energy storage connection with the requiring the Public Utilities Commission to provide energy mechanisms for investor and electric utilities procuring and store certain criteria satisfied.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1270 on third reading and final passage.
All right, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1270 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Sandridge, Representative Pabon, Representative Harrod, Representative Danielson, Buckner, and Buck. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1270 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1131.
House Bill 1131, Representatives Michelson, J. Austin, Carr, and Fields, considering a program to facilitate conducting judicial proceedings via networking technology.
And just one moment. Members, we are in third reading. It's very loud in here. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1131 on third reading and final passage.
All right, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1131 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Pabon. Please close the machine. With 36 yes votes, 26 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1131 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1187 till the end of the third reading calendar.
All right, seeing no objection, House Bill 1187 will be laid over until the end of the third reading calendar. So that takes us to House Bill 1284. Mr. Randall, will you please read the title?
House Bill 1284 by Representatives Buckner and Wilson, Officers Martinez, Dominican, and Gonzalez concerning the cost of prescription drugs purchased at a pharmacy.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1284 on third reading and final
The
passage.
question before us is the passage of House Bill 1284 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Buck, Harrod, Landgraf, McKean, and Pabon. Please close the machine. With 57 yes votes, 5 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1284 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 55.
Senate Bill 55 by Senator Neville, also Representatives Van Winkle and Hooten concerning the crimes against children surcharge in cases involving trafficking with children.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 55 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 55 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Catlin, Lund, and Representative Wilson. Please close the machine. With 62 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 3 excused, Senate Bill 55 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 169.
Senate Bill 169 by Senator Gardner, also Representative Carver concerning offenses against witnesses in non-criminal proceedings.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 169 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 169 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative McKean. Please close the machine. With 60 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 3 excused, Senate Bill 169 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. All right, that takes us back to House Bill 1187. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1187.
House Bill 1187, Representatives Buckner and Landgraf, House Senators Cook and Moreno, concerning the lawful use of prescription drug that contains cannabis oil that is approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1187 on third reading and final passage.
All right, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1187 on third reading and final passage. Representative Catlin. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to speak with or to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you too, and speak with you too.
Thank you. Members, I rise today to do something I haven't done in my tenure here at the House of Representatives. I'm here to speak on third reading and ask you to vote no on House Bill 1187. I believe that hemp is the medicine of the future.
Members, we're on third reading. There's lots of side conversations going on. Representative Catlin.
Thank you. I do believe that hemp is the medicine of the future, and I want to give it every chance that it can get. In this bill, one of the things that keeps coming back to me from people in my district, from people that are growers of hemp, they are not sure that this pharmaceutical might not supplant their efforts to create a new industry in the state of Colorado, an industry that has all of the potential that agriculture can muster. If you're not in the ag business, you probably don't realize, but we're in a perfect storm. None of the commodities that agriculture is raising in the state of Colorado today are really enough price to make a living on. That's the reason you see farms expanding. That's the reason you see young people having to leave the farm even though they'd like to stay. Hemp has the potential to put the foundation back in agriculture in the state of Colorado. Currently, we are #1 in production of hemp. And we want to keep that way. This bill, albeit well-intentioned, and I think it does have the best of intentions. Did we take enough time to talk about it? I'm not sure. A lot of efforts have been put into this bill from both sides of the aisle. From everybody that presented the bill, a dear friend of mine, from the chairman of the Public Health Committee. A lot of effort's been put into this bill, and I don't want to discount that. But there are still questions, and I don't want to take the risk that the hemp industry won't have a chance to organically grow into the potential industry that it could be. I'm not sure whether or not synthetic is where we ought to be. But one of the things that I'm going to ask you today is to vote no on this bill, to give hemp an opportunity. And in order for you to understand that I am not against children and that I am not against terrible illnesses, producers of this product, growers and manufacturers, have offered free supply to the children that have been afflicted with this disease. So take a moment this morning and think about the future of the state of Colorado. Without agriculture, the future of the state of Colorado is nothing like what you and I are accustomed to. This has great potential. Let's not thwart it with the idea that we're going to rush to something that hasn't been approved yet. Thank you very much. I'd urge a no vote. Thank you, Madam.
Representative Landgraf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Representative Catlin, thank you for your kind and thoughtful words. I want to make sure that everybody knows that this product is not synthetic. It's whole plant medicine. It does not in any way keep hemp growers from producing their product. We made sure of that. In fact, we went rounds and rounds about that. And in my opinion, the people that actually got this to a unanimous vote in committee were the people who spoke at the end of committee, and they were hemp growers. And they came forward and they said, we need this. This is a different type of product that does not interfere with them, but in fact, they thought it might open the door for their products. So currently, something that is a synthetic is not prohibited from being prescribed in pharmacies, which is why there are 2 other marijuana, I guess, they're hemp-based products that are in pharmacies. And I also wanted to let you know that I'm sure you're all familiar with Smart Colorado. I get messages from them frequently. They are the group who wants tighter controls of marijuana for children. They're a parents group. They support this bill. They support this bill. People support this bill. I sat with people this morning who said thank you because they have kids who need this bill. This is going into the market, if it passes the FDA, for kids like we met on the floor the other day. Vienne, she's very medically fragile. Her parents do not want, and they cannot risk, giving her a product that is not controlled by the FDA. They know there's products out there that would help her, but they might also injure her, so they won't take the chance. Others do. That's fine. That's great. Doesn't stop that. But this product is needed for kids like Vienne, and when it's FDA approved, we need to get it into the market immediately, and that's what this bill will do. Vote yes.
Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Representative Catlin, for speaking to this group today. I started working on this bill in October of last year. Did my homework, lots and lots and lots of stakeholder meetings with everyone who is involved in this industry. I have friends in this industry. I would do nothing to take business away from those friends and the people that I met in these stakeholder meetings who have spent their life's savings to go into business. I am passionate about this bill because when I was teaching, I worked with these students who have these seizures. So many of them couldn't even go to school regularly because of the amount of seizures they're having a day. I am passionate about this bill. This is not a synthetic product. The carve-out is very specific about who will be able to get this drug. FDA, when approved, next month or the next month after that, doctors at children's hospitals, especially neurologists, have said they want their kids who have this syndrome to be able to get an FDA-regulated product that they can adjust. FDA-regulated product. It's crucial. I met VN and her mother. This little girl is wearing a seizure helmet. She has a seizure dog. And her mother is pleading with us and many other mothers and lots of organizations who have spoken to us to get this FDA product approved. I don't know what else to say, but there's been one highway, and now there's going to be another lane for those parents and patients who need this drug to be able to get this product that will be FDA approved. I am asking you for a yes vote. This didn't happen overnight. We have been working on this since last fall. We have met with every possible person and stakeholder that you could meet with to come to a consensus on this bill. Representative Landgraf and I have done our homework. This won't hurt the industry. It's going to help. Thank you so much. I'm asking you for a yes vote.
Further discussion? Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know the Public Health Care and Human Services Committee heard this bill at length, and we went around in a lot of different circles. I know you, the bill sponsors, have been working on this for years. I've been working on this for weeks, and it just feels like years. But I'm just going to read to you from what the bill actually says as we amended it in committee. Is the General Assembly does not intend for this legislation to be construed so as to prohibit, preclude, or otherwise affect previously authorized activities concerning products derived from marijuana, industrial hemp, or other lawful sources which contain cannabinoids. So that's a legislative declaration, and then we repeat basically the same language in the bill. So this isn't worded exactly the way I would have worded it, but the question is, do we preclude kids and adults who have these serious seizure issues from being able to get access to an FDA-approved drug? We've got a bigger problem in Colorado, and that's the fact that we have basically banned pharmacists and doctors from being able to prescribe and dispense marijuana-related products even when they're FDA-approved. And I would love to see a greater catch-all solution for that. But at the same time, I'm not going to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. If there are fixes that can be made, let's send it over to the Senate and do it. We've got 5 weeks left. Let's kick it to the other chamber and make sure that we send them the best product we have. And if they figure out a better way to do it, that's great. But let's not take away this option, because this option doesn't take away anyone else's. With that, I encourage an aye vote on House Bill 1187.
Representative Chanel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I don't think I've ever gotten up for a reading at this point in time. But I had to come up and speak about this because we had a lot of conversations with Representative Landgraf and Representative Buckner and the pharmaceutical industry. And I have the utmost respect for the pharmaceutical industry and the medications that they provide and the help that they give to patients. I also have a lot of respect for the marijuana industry and the hemp industry and all the work that they have done with cannabidiols. And I guess I also don't want you to think that I'm not in favor of children having this FDA-approved drug. But I just wanted to be on record, because I am going to be a yes vote on this. But I want to be on record that in speaking with the industry, the pharmaceutical industry, that this would not hurt the hemp growers, and nor would it be exclusivity for just one drug having monopoly on this cannabidiol. And they said yes, it would not. And I believe them. And if I had not had those extensive conversations with them, I would probably be a no vote. But I want to let you know that I've had their assurance that this drug would not be the only drug out there, and that it would not hurt the the hemp industry. So I am supporting this bill. Thank you.
Further discussion? Representative Salazar.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. You know, this industry is very interesting in terms of the way that they look at how our laws are being drafted. And the reason for that is because we're treading in foreign waters. I mean, we're basically setting the pace for the rest of the country when it comes to these issues. And as far as setting the pace goes, we have to worry about our farmers as well as those who can benefit from the medicinal uses of this plant. I mean, this is nature we're talking about. I mean, God gave us a plant here that helps us in so many different ways. But as I've been involved in these discussions with this industry, I can see that there are really deep divisions and concerns about what our laws will do and if it will adversely impact our farmers, if it will adversely impact the industry, and there's still no real common ground that they've reached. So it was really difficult for me when this bill came up as to where I was going to stand, because I, like Representative Catlin, I'm concerned about our industrial hemp farmers. I mean, and I completely agree with him 100%, is that this is the crop of the future for us. This is what's going to help us in our economy and our family farms for generations to come, if we get it right. So I had some consternation about this bill. The language seemed to not really set it right. But despite that, and after speaking with the bill drafter and Representative Singer, as well as others, I'm a yes vote on this bill. And I'll tell you that the organizations that support this bill include the Colorado Industrial Hemp Roundtable, Colorado Hemp Industries Association, Hoban Law Group, Charlotte's Web. That's probably a real big deal for me, that Charlotte's Web supports this bill. Alexinol, CBDRX, Prescription Functional Remedies, Pure Vision Technologies, Restorative Botanicals, Bluebird Botanicals, Mary's Nutritionals, Canopy Corporation, Casmira LLC, Lilu's Gardens, and they support this bill because it protects the farmers. I was asked to give a keynote speech of several months back to a group called Realm of Caring, and that's a group of parents, basically, who use cannabis products for their kids who suffer from seizures. And I met a little girl who suffered hundreds of seizures a day, thousands a week. And no matter what kind of medication they put her on, it didn't really help the seizures until she went on cannabis. And then it brought it down to maybe a seizure or two every other day. Sometimes she could get by 3 days. And it worked. My God, did it work. And she sat there in front of me as I talked to her, and she talked about, I mean, imagine that, going throughout your whole entire day with hundreds of seizures. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how you would feel as a human being not to be able to function throughout the day. I'm going to vote yes for this bill because I think that it's trying to strike a delicate balance. I think that the Senate probably will do some wordsmithing on the language, which I would certainly recommend. But I'm going to vote yes because I think that it's going to be beneficial to the farmers. And if not, then certainly someone like Representative Catlin can bring a bill to ensure that the farmers are not being affected in the future. So I ask you colleagues to please vote yes for House Bill 1187.
Further discussion? Representative Landgraf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You've heard plenty on this. This will not hurt hemp farmers. We wouldn't do that, but it will help children, and that's the decision to be made. I'm voting for the children. I'm asking you to do the same.
Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1187 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote. Representative Foot. Please close the machine. With 59 yes votes, 3 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1187 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors.
Okay, thanks.
Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for the consideration of Senate amendments to House bills.
All right, seeing no objection, we will proceed out of order to consideration of Senate amendments to House bills. So we start with House Bill 1008. Mr. Randall, will you please read the title?
House Bill 1008, Representative Escar Narnall, Senators Donovan and Corum. Concerning the financing of the Division of Parks, Wildlife, Aquatic Nuisance Research Sports Species Program in connection with creating a aquatic nuisance species stamp for the operation of motor bus sailboats in water of the state, increasing penalties related to the introduction of aquatic nuisance species in the water of the state, and combining 2 separate funds related to the aquatic nuisance species program into 1 fund.
Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We move to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 10008.
And would you like to tell us why? Representative Barnes.
Certainly. Actually, it was fortuitous that the Coast Guard was reading this bill and said that there's something that has to do with boat registration and the Coast Guard procedures, and we don't want to go against the U.S. Coast Guard. So basically, you have to register for your boat and register for the stamp for a motorized boat and sailboat. Same price. We're not changing any fees. We're just making it so it trues up with the Coast Guard regulations. So that's a very good amendment. Thanks, Coast Guard.
All right. Further discussion? Seeing none. Oh, Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry, we didn't explain anything. This is what actually the quagga mussels look like that we are preventing in Colorado with this bill. This is what would adhere to your boat, adhere to the pipelines of your water systems if we were not to continue to protect Colorado's waters.
And we have found 5 larvae already this year from boat inspections. Different boats coming in.
All right, the question before us is a motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1008. Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote.
What'd you say? I assume she got the permission of the majority leader to Yes, she did.
Representative Melton, please vote. All right, please close the machine. With 50 yes votes, 12 no votes, and 3 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1008 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1008 as amended.
Question before us is a repassage of House Bill 1008 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Benavides, please close the machine. With 47 yes votes, 15 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1008 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1029.
House Bill 1029 by Representatives Weissman and Lundberg concerning lowering the period of mandatory parole from 5 years to 3 years for certain felony offenses.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that we concur with Senate amendments in House Bill 1029.
All right, would you like to tell us why?
Yes, actually, members, after 1029 left the House, CDAC caught what amounts to a drafting technical error. In short, when we codify things, we have an Arabic number and then a small letter and then a Roman numeral and then a capital letter, and we put it as a new Roman numeral. We should have put it as a new capital letter. So it's that change and some conforming changes. The substance is the same, so I think it's an appropriate Senate amendment to concur with, rarely.
All right. The question before us is motion to concur with Senate Amendment to House Bill 1029. Ms. Randall, please open the machine. And members, please proceed to vote. Representative Pabon, please close the machine. With 59 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 4 excused, the motion concur with Senate Amendment to House Bill 1029 is passed. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1029 as amended.
All right, the question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1029 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 50 yes votes, 11 no votes, and 4 excused, House Bill 1029 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. All right. That takes us to House Bill 1198. Ms. Randall, please read the title.
House Bill 1198 by Representative Sandy Kraft Tharp, Senator Donovan and Smallwood concerning the establishment of best practices for state boards and commissions.
Representative Kraft Tharp.
Thank you. So I move to concur with the Senate changes and amendments to this bill.
All right. Would you like to tell us why?
Well, actually, it doesn't really matter if you concur or adhere, because let me tell you what happened. We sent over this really good bill to the Senate. Senate decided to put an amendment on it to put in a legislative declaration and to say that there should be no fiscal note. Then our fiscal analyst redid the fiscal note and took away all the fiscal impact. So the Senate went in and they took away all of their amendments. So it's coming back to us same as what we sent it. So whether we concur or we adhere, it doesn't matter because it's back to us the same that it was when we sent it to them. Doesn't that win the prize for today? So just say yes.
So just to be clear, though, the motion is to concur with Senate amendments
We'll concur.
to House Bill 1198. Okay, we know the motion. Further discussion? Seeing no further discussion. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. You're voting on a motion to concur with Senate Amendment to House Bill 1198. Representative Buckner, Representative Pabon, Representative Willett. Please close the machine. With 59 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 4 excused, the motion to concur with Senate Amendment to House Bill 1198 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1198 as amended, even though it wasn't amended, but as amended.
Question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1198 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Hooton and just Representative Hooton. Please close the machine. With 59 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 4 excused, House Bill 1198 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar till Friday, April 6th.
All right, seeing no objection, we will lay over the balance of the calendar, which that takes us to announcements and introductions. Any announcements or introductions? Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. State Affairs is meeting this morning upon adjournment, so we'll meet at 11:15, and that's just 10 minutes from now. So make your way over to LSBA to hear 2 bills, House Bill 1181 and then House Bill 1152 for action only. That's at 11:15 LSBA. Thank you.
Okay, further announcements? Representative Winter.
Members of Transportation and Energy, we will be meeting in 10 minutes upon adjournment. We will not be hearing House Bill 1289. We will not, even though it's on the calendar. But we will be hearing Senate Bill 144, House Bill 1271, and House Bill 1272. See you in 10 minutes.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Assistant Minority Leader West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, we have guests from Timberline Elementary that have been visiting with us throughout the morning. I don't think there's anyone in the gallery now, but welcome to Timberline Elementary School.
All right. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Crafthorpe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Okay, members of the Business Affairs and Labor Committee, we're going to have a long day today. We've got 2 big bills. Bring snacks and change your clothes if you need. House Bill 1310 and House Bill 1298 we'll be hearing today, so be prepared. Thank you.
Further announcements or introductions? Representative Mountain and Representative Everett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. As you know, today is Thursday, which means tomorrow is BTF. Bow tie, bolo, baby, ascot, 3/4-inch turtleneck Friday.
Representative Everett.
Thank you. And thank you, Madam Speaker. And I'm actually wearing the Colorado tartan tie. I do have a bow tie, but I put on so much weight that I can't fit the bow tie around my neck, so I will not be wearing that tomorrow.
All right, further discussion, further announcements, further introductions. Seeing no further announcements or introductions, Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess till 1 o'clock today.
All right, seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until 1 p.m. today.